After watching this, you will live more consciously and question your eating style. So, change your life today. Hey, welcome to my video. I'm Kevin and I'd like to introduce you to my book that I wrote last year. Currently it's only available in German, as paperback and ebook. You can find the link in the description below, but don't worry, the English version will be released later this year.
What is the book about?
The book answers all the questions lay people have about veganism and clears up common myths. It is divided into the areas of meat, milk, eggs, fish and the environment, each of which contains an ethical section as well. The book proves that our bodies were not made to consume animal products, and if we do, we will suffer many diseases and most likely die prematurely. So, you have the choice. Go vegan or kill yourself. In order to explain you my intention that led me to write this book, I will now present the first chapter of it. Let's go. Fat eyes stare at me. The stench of dead creatures dominate the scene. I stare back. Moderately draped body parts await their side dishes. The Suicide Squad settles down. I don't hold out hope for a few vegetables or salad. Knives cut through fibers. Blood oozes out. My fear that the source of the side dishes might be poisoned with yogurt or cream is correct. Blunt teeth laboriously try to shred tissue. The plan is quickly abandoned, and the meat gobbles down. My plate will not visit the dishwasher today, but that's okay. I have already dined in advance. I wouldn't get to eat anyway, as the familiar storm will soon sweep over me. A moment ago, he was stroking the dog. Now, the same hand is ripping the meat off the bone. How would they react if I threw the dog on the grill at that very moment? A rhetorical question. If I served meat and didn't tell them that it comes from the dog, they would stuff it in their mouths with the relish. The revelation would be a scandal which would result in a strong defamation of my reputation. Of course, the murder of the animals that bear the perverse name of farm animals is not an ethical problem. I don't understand this logic. Terms like stupid, ignorant, cruel and disgusting describes the average person's diet. How can one not care about one's own health and that of the environment? My gaze wanders in disgust. People scarred by the atrocities. Purple heads merge with voluminous bodies. Greasy, impure skin stretched over swollen faces. The male candidates' milky tits bob with every breath. The suction for oxygen, a fed of strength. Visually, no one represents their real age. Imaginatively, I open one of the deformed bodies. A proud collection of cancer cells and some gallstones catch my attention. Organs groan under the weight of fat. The inflamed joints share the same suffering. The heart struggles to pump against the constricted veins. It can no longer withstand the strain for long. Why aren't you eating? A muffled voice sounds from far away. I ignore it. Which of them will die first? Especially from what disease? Aren't you hungry? The voice becomes clearer. For some, I'm sure either a heart attack or stroke will execute them. Have at it. The voice snaps me out of my thoughts. One arm holds out a bowl filled with meat to me. At the end of the arm, the owner of the voice smiles at me. No thanks, I'm vegan. Silence. The smile fades away. Vegan. The word hovers over the table, reflected in the glazed eyes of those present. Only their glances pierce me yet. Primitive sayings will follow. So, here we go again. The neutral acknowledgement and return to the original topic of conversation is the reaction I expect from an educated, modern person of our time. Apart from that, this one should already be playing in the plan team to live up to his designation. Just saying. Unfortunately, I very rarely get the desired reaction. Instead, I'm often condemned and confronted with negative criticism as soon as the dreaded V word has left my lips. A wide-ranging discussion is therefore inevitable. Vegans have usually dealt intensely with the topic of nutrition. The average person, on the other hand, shares a manageable half-knowledge with their peers, which is based on the recommendations and advertising slogans of the state industry. They are therefore well advised to prick up their ears when a vegan speaks up. Unfortunately, listening and rationally processing the knowledge gained, and above all, correcting one's opinion as a result, are rarely among their strengths. Why do they even make their naive attempt to stand up to an expert? Even if they are convinced of their inferior half-knowledge and despise veganism, why is it so important to them to convert me? They shouldn't care what I eat, and yet I am confronted with words like extreme and unnaturally. Slavery, mass murders and environmental destruction, which are established in society and declared as normal, obviously do not correspond to an extreme lifestyle. The conversation has advanced by now. The obligatory arguments have already been made. My skeleton depends on milk. Without meat, I suffer a nutrient deficiency. I rob the poor animals of food. We owe evolution to meat, etc. Well, I have refuted all the arguments with scientific evidence. But you, the ignorant, stubborn one, remain true to your opinion and launch the all-important counterattack. Vitamin B12. You confidently declare that its only source is exclusively of animal origin, thus finally proving the necessity of animal consumption. I can only roll my eyes. As already mentioned, I am the expert. You are certainly not familiar with the definition and function of B12. Most people eat a very one-sided diet and often industrially processed foods. None of them is concerned about ensuring a richly filled nutrition balance. All these people who chronically avoid fruit and vegetables want to tell me that I suffer from an immense nutrient deficiency? This paradox cannot remain hidden from you either. Very few people associate a culinary experience of pleasure with vegan dishes. The few heroes who still manage to try such a dish are surprised every time. It tastes good anyway? You can save yourself the fatous comment. Many normal dishes are vegan without being labeled as such. By the way, the addition of animal products is superfluous in most dishes. Their absence does not have a negative effect on the taste. I may give the impression that my person embodies the cliché vegan who condemns the lifestyle of his fellow human beings and makes them feel it at every opportunity. This is not the case. Basically, I don't care that you rape your body every day and thus drastically reduce your life expectancy. But since your self-behavior also endangers my health and the environment, I cannot stand idly by and watch this crime. However, I prefer a method of more intelligent origin that promises guaranteed sustainability. Shouting at demonstration or telling people head-on that their behavior is wrong does not lead to a result. Quite the opposite. The general aversion to veganism is only strengthened by this. Therefore, what is needed is a neutral, scientifically proven transcript that clears up all ambiguities in a condensed way. When I started on the vegan path 4 years ago, I didn't realize how often I would have to justify my eating style from now on. Many people imagine veganism to be very strenuous. What might be the hardest task? Is it the self-discipline or the supposedly small food supply? Neither. The worst thing is being confronted with idiots every day. I'm tired of the countless discussions and don't want to waste my energy on ill-informed people every time. For this reason, I am simulating a conversation with you in this book, assuming that you have too little knowledge, as was the case with most of my past interlocutors. In future, I will refuse to talk to these people and recommend my book to them instead. As I already mentioned, you can find the link to my book in the description below. I would be happy about your support. Nature and Body will be happy too, because I think you will live more consciously after my book. I really hope you like my book, and please let me know in the comments below what you think of it and veganism in general. Can you imagine giving up animal products, or do you already live vegan? I'm looking forward to your comments. Please press the like button to make sure the message of veganism reaches many to stop the climate change. And subscribe to my channel so that we can see each other again in the next video. Bye!